Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. You ain't built for a skirt as a nigga can be. It's gonna sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming for ya. It's gonna sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I come for ya. It's gonna sound like here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Betting News Network. This is the Gridiron Gang. It's week 14. Vibes are high. Happy Sunday. Thanks for being here and kicking off your NFL Sunday with us right here on the channel. That is Trizzy Betts. That's V-Sauce. That's Just Suck. My name's Sweatpants Jesus. Stoked to have you here. Chat, how we living? Ready to rock and roll. Excited day of sports in front of us. We got a huge day on the Gridiron, boys, as we're about to get ready to rock and roll. Prindy, we love you. Nasty Masty chat, wherever you're watching us, thanks for being here. If you're watching us on X, if you're watching us on YouTube or on Twitch, wherever you guys are kicking with us, thanks for stopping by and hanging out to start your NFL Sunday. Boys, what a day we have in front of us. Sauceman's happy because the Packers play today. The Packers play the Bears. We're going to talk about huge divisional matchups today, guys. We got some massive games we're going to talk about throughout the entire slate, but how we living? Happy Sunday.
Dude, happy Sunday. We got some big matchups today. I'm excited. Hopefully I'm excited at the end of the day too and not sad, but I got some good games on the docket today. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
With the playoff push coming, things are just going to get more interesting, boys. And it's sad that we're already at week 14, but it does mean that we got a little bit more intensity to these games.
Waking up to a little Trizzy TD slip was real nice too. I had to place that real fast before we got on.
All right now.
Oh yeah.
Little Trizzy showing his titties, you know what I'm saying? Little TDs.
As he sits there in the degenerate sweater.
Oh yeah.
The TDs lay right in the morning.
Right in the morning.
I was up firing this morning. I was
go.
up like extra early. I fell asleep during the Jan and Marab fight last night, so I woke up a little early this morning and got real fired up that Marab is not a champion anymore. So,
Hey man, that was an incredible fight. The one before too. I mean, unfortunately for Pantoja, like obviously that arm break was nasty work, but I mean, Josh Van by KO. Yay.
Yeah.
Thanks for sprinkling on that. Thanks for telling me to sprinkle on that, my man. That was dope.
Yeah, I mean, not how I wanted, not how I expected to cash it. I mean, and with all the wrongs of me being on the wrong side of so much fixed shit in the UFC, to be on the right side of a injury like that is, I mean, I was almost shocked.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it too. We talked about that yesterday as well on the Violence Report. Hope you guys tuned in. And if you guys tuned in yesterday on Betespresso, we banged.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we did. Let's go.
It's good.
Hit it.
Wins the game at the buzzer.
Bing bong bang.
Plus
It was
1,000.
also
boys.
plus 1,000. Betespresso 4. It was also relatively sweat free, which you love to see. The under in the Ohio State Indiana game cashed. Jaime Jaquez PRA. He ended up starting. That was air. Macy Barber by points. I didn't watch that fight. Was it pretty sweat free? I'm pretty sure that it was.
First round, yeah, but second and third. Once you watch the second round, it was, you know what I mean, sweat.
That's kind of exactly what you said though too, Trizzy. Didn't you? You're like that first round is going to be a little bit, but then after that, it's that's where it settles down and we make it towards the points. Like you literally said that yesterday before giving it to us.
Yeah, first round, Silva got the takedown, climbed her back, and Barber was kind of like fighting off submissions, kind of like I was saying, she's fighting for her life for the first round, and then second, third round, Silva accepted bottom position like for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
What about the draw, Triz?
Old gummy bear tits.
Like we determined that the phrases like that are why I'm not allowed on Violence Reports because we just wouldn't get shit done.
We would never get through the show. You would just laugh. Like 75% of Trizzy's cell job would just be you just chuckling and cackling in the side. Like just like that. There you go. See. And then Illinois plus 2.5. Keep the points. They won outright. It was a great day on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys cashed in with us. In honor of that, didn't even tell Sook this in the background. We'll do a giveaway today. I didn't even think about it, but in honor of smacking yesterday, we'll do a giveaway today. Also, we will be putting some money in our pot for the tots. We'll do this last year. We did it. We did the season of giving leading up to Thanksgiving. We'll be posting about it tomorrow. But for the entire month of December, every parlay that we hit on the Betting News Network, 30% of the proceeds will go into a pot that we will donate to Toys for Tots right before Christmas to get the vibes out later today. So stick around. We're going to have some fun with you guys. And yes, it is Prindy. If I'm going to watch the Titans suck, at least I'm going to do it looking relatively flat. Got to do something about it. Shout out Colby. Colby actually sent me this like 2 or 3 months ago. He found it on eBay and was like, this deserves to be in SPJ's closet. So good vibes all around. Thanks for being here. We're going to play Stutter Dud. We're going to get into talking through this entire NFL slate with you guys. I know a lot of these dudes have so many things to talk about on all these games. I got plays. You got plays. We all got plays. So stick around. We're going to have some fun, like I said. And we're going to do a giveaway later. So if you are watching us on X or on YouTube, thanks for being here. Kick ass. Just keep watching us. Otherwise, if you want to be entered in the giveaway, though, come and hang out with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/betting news. And we will get you entered in the giveaway to give away one of our new hats. What's up? What's up? I'm starting to think that this might be Colby's burner because of how much he loves Colby. But no, I think it's just a homie of the program. All right, lads, shall we jump in, play Stutter Dud, and then get to it? You got anything else we want to gab about before we start?
Football.
Let's get to it. Chat, this is your weekly reminder to set your fantasy lineups. And if you're still listening to me, what's up, Sogger? If you're still listening to me right now through this fantasy section, that means that you're probably either in the playoffs this week or the playoffs start for you next week. So congratulations on being good at fantasy football. You can also just, not listen if your team sucks. I have a couple leagues where my team didn't even show up this season, and then I have some that I actually need to win this week. So this was an important segment for me. Stutter Dud, let's get through it real quick. Number 1, quarterback. Stutter Dud. Jaden Daniels returning for the Commanders this week. We'll talk about this game. Lots of contention between Jaden Daniels and 9 on the other side, but he's the 5th-ranked quarterback this week on ESPN, taking on the Vikings. Hasn't played since November 2nd after that brutal elbow injury. However, it was not as bad as expected. Did not miss the entire season and is making his return today. Trizzy, lead us off. Spare your lore for how you feel about the game until we get there specifically. But do you think Daniels is? I was surprised he was number 5. Are you surprised?
Yeah, I actually am. I mean, it's his left elbow, right? I mean, that.
Yep.
I don't know. I played baseball my whole life, so like, to me, your left arm is almost equally as important in your throwing motion as your right arm. And to go through the throwing progression, I think it's gonna throw him off a little, especially if he's playing with this big ass brace. And I mean, I don't know. He's gonna be scared to run around a little bit. And I do remember this team was struggling even with him healthy at the helm. I mean, he hasn't been fully healthy all season. He was dealing with the hamstring, calf type of situation for a few games, but still, this team was struggling even with him calling the shots here. So I'm going to go dud. It's probably just I don't think he's going to really go off. Maybe they win this game, but I'll save my feelings for when I get there. But I think he's going to be in some trouble today.
I kind of agree. I think this is a tough position for Jaden Daniels to come back to. Not only are you coming back after a pretty significant injury, I know it wasn't as significant as maybe initially thought, but now you're doing it against a defense that just blitzes at an insane level, right? They're going to get pressure. They're going to bring you different different looks, all kinds of different things. And you got to just think after the injury, and I know that football players don't play scared, right? But this is just one of the toughest defenses to face after that kind of injury. So I don't know if I'm super running to my fantasy team to start him, but it's hard to say he would be a dud.
Yeah, the rushing ability always makes him available to be a possible stud, even if he has a relatively pedestrian day through the air. But Marcus Mariota was actually playing better than him metrically. And Danny and I talked about this on Friday, that Mariota was good and he was playing better than Jaden Daniels even before Daniels got hurt. And this defense is no joke, man. So I was surprised he was 5th ranked. And honestly, if you have him, you've probably already found another quarterback over the last 3 or 4 weeks that you've been starting anyway. I wouldn't be rushing to throw him out there in a huge week for fantasy implications right now. So maybe he has a nice game, but I'd probably leave him on the bench. And if you have a better option, you better put him out someone else out there that you've been rolling with the last 3 or 4 weeks. But I don't have him in any league, so I don't have to make that decision. But that would be kind of the way I'd lean.
Yeah, I'd just go dud because of that. Because the Vikings are actually second for tackles for a loss. This is a team, like V said, they have those exotic blitz packages. They're gonna go hard on this guy. He's coming back from an injury, so you got to make him feel uncomfortable. The play calling is probably going to be pretty aggressive today.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we'll get to that game in a little bit. Let's move on to the running backs. Stud or dud? Bijan. Now, this is a little bit of a different conversation because you're not sitting Bijan if you have Bijan on your team. Number 5 ranked, though, on ESPN this week, taking on the Seahawks, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Last week, he went crazy, 23 carries for 142 yards and a touchdown, 5 catches and 51, obviously, is always in his bag, too. However, the Falcons lost, and the Falcons season is pretty much cooked. Seahawks really good. Sauceman, lead us off. Do you think Bijan's going to have a day today, or do you think he's going to struggle?
I mean, he probably does have a day, just like you said, it's Honey Bijan. But the problem is the red zone carry. He's just getting, he's not getting the touchdowns. Last week at 142 yards, 51 receiving, but it feels like every single time that there's a red zone carry, it's Tyler Algier. I know he got the touchdown last week, but it feels like every time there's 2 or maybe 3 touchdowns available on the board for this guy, he's not getting it. And in a situation where you see some running backs sometimes have those 2 or 3 touchdown days, especially getting closer to the playoffs, I mean, you're going to start him. It's just you're waiting for one of those 30-point explosions that you see from other top 3 running backs. But yeah, you got to start him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not sitting him. But he might struggle, like you mentioned. And the red zone, that's a really good shout. The red zone carries is always a trouble thing. Also, again, Falcons still playing for pride, I guess, but they're cooked. Their season's cooked. So I don't know if that in the back of your head has anything to do with fantasy implications for a guy like that. But anybody else got thoughts on Bijan before we move on to the receivers?
I mean, I hope he's a dud because I have the Seahawks to win the division. So help me out a little.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to wide receivers. Number 3 ranked wide receiver this week, Jamar Chase. Obviously, Burrow returned last week, taking on the Bills this week. 7 catches for 110 yards last week in that big win on Thanksgiving against the Ravens. Huge game today for the Bengals, as every single game for then the rest of the season is pretty much must win. Do you guys think, you're not sitting Jamar Chase, but the Bills actually are one of the best passing defenses in the NFL. Sook, you can lead us off on this one. Stud or dud? Do you think Jamar's going to have a day?
I do, because I see the name escapes me, but did you guys see there was somebody very prominent that thinks that the Bengals will actually go all the way to the Super Bowl? And there's a bunch of people actually betting on this.
Wow. I mean,
it's very interesting to see. And like Sauceman, talk to me about this, because like obviously the Bengals, like their defense is bad. They don't hurry. Like the Bills' defense is bad as well in some weird ways. Like they're not very good at hurrying a quarterback. So like if Burrow can just sit in the pocket and pick this team apart, like do the Bengals have a chance to like absolutely destroy this team? Because the Bills give up points.
Yeah, I completely think so. I think that this is going to be one of those games where it's cold as fuck in Buffalo today. It's going to be one of those games, and I think that Joe Burrow coming back gives this offense a new life. We saw it last year; they came up just short, but this year the division is just wide open enough that they could sneak into it, not only win the division, but this is a team where if you get in, it might be a little bit tougher. And I don't know about you guys. Last week they looked a little bit better on the defensive side, so who knows? Maybe it's just an energy thing. Maybe it was a one-game thing with Joe Burrow being back. But, I mean, SPJ, you bet it. Talk to us.
I mean, I took a shot at the Bengals to win the division at 11-1 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, and now it's 9-1 or 8-1. Steelers and Ravens obviously play today, which is going to be a huge game. And, like, it's got a lot on the line for this team. I think he's going to have a day. This Bills defense, we'll talk about it when we get there, is really nasty, especially in the passing department. So there's probably more opportunities for like Chase Brown to get going on the ground. But this is going to be a fun one. Like I'm going to have probably my Titans game on, unfortunately, because I'm not the type of fan that doesn't watch my team. And then I'll be tuning in to watch this game because it's going to be a banger. So if I have him, you're starting him. I actually do have Jamar Chase in the league. So you have him if you're taking him and you're trotting him out there. Maybe he doesn't have like an all-world performance today, but if the Bengals are going to win this football game / cover the 5.5 point spread, Jamar's going to have some big plays. So, I mean, and he totally can.
Jamar, come on.
Jamar.
Joey feels any type of way about like how many like targets and receptions Flacco was getting him?
No.
They've been homies for so long. Like I doubt
back
it.
to college, right?
This is the same QB that said Justin Jefferson's the better wide receiver. Jamar Chase was sitting next to him. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, their relationship is fine.
T's back this week too, right? T,
yeah, T's back this week as well. Actually, you know what? That's it. That's it for Stud or Dud. Go set your fantasy lineups. Last reminder, get involved. Hope you guys make the playoffs if you are at that particular point. And if you're looking for somebody to not make the playoffs, I hope that they fail for you. So get after it. And congratulations if you have made it to the fin. Vsauce beat me last week in our league for BN. So I'm cooked. So fuck you, V. In our other league, though, I have to beat Chef Rozzy this week in the chat league to make the playoffs. So it's whoever wins that game between me and Roz is making the playoffs. So GG's, Roz. Fun. So
boys, it's been fun so far. I mean, paying attention this year has paid off dividends for me. So
it's funny how that works, isn't it? Like, pay attention and set your lineups, and you do better. You're crazy.
Oh my
Wacky
God.
stuff.
My roster is not set, boys, but let's
There
keep
you
going.
go. See?
There it is. That's how it goes. Just as a reminder, like I said, we're doing a giveaway today, so stick around later today in the show. Near the end, we will be giving away one of these Vibes hats. You can go check it out on our store if you want to. There are new hats. I actually ordered one in the mail. I'm excited to get it and start rocking it on the stream. Go check it out in the store. You can buy one if you don't win one today, but we'll be giving away one at the end of the show in honor of us hitting our parlay yesterday. All right, guys, shall we? Let's get to it. And honestly, let's just start with the game we were just talking about. Bengals taking on the Bills. 5.5 point dogs are the Cincinnati Bengals. Joey Burrow and company coming to town, taking on Josh Allen. 5.5 points, 53-point total. This is one of the biggest totals on the board today. Makes sense with these two high-powered offenses. It's going to be a great game. It's actually moved up to 6.5 in some places, so the 5.5 is still kind of juiced, but you can get a little 6.5 over there if you like that for the Bengals side of things. It's going to be an awesome game, like I mentioned. Huge implications on the line, like we just talked about. with the Bengals having to win out, but also the Bills are still looking to compete in their division with the Patriots. Don't think they're going to be able to catch them, but they still obviously want to keep winning to kind of keep pace with them as well. Sauceman, lead us off. What do you like in this game?
The guy I was just talking about, T. Higgins. I think his touchdown sitting at plus 180. That's what I was looking at. You got a bunch of juice on this side. You got Jamar Chase at minus 120. I know that Chase Brown is sitting closer to plus 105 just because of how bad this Bengals, minus 105 is what I was looking at, just because how bad this Bills defense has been. Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of love for Chase Brown. I'm also seeing on the timeline, but if you're looking at the last couple of weeks, for some reason, Chase Brown and Samaje Perine have been splitting in carries pretty like 50-50. And I don't know. I don't think that Samaje Perine is the like equivalent of a running back to what Chase Brown has done. He's also had some really big games over the last few weeks. The 75.5 rushing and receiving yard line was kind of sus to me. Trizzy, doesn't that feel a little bit low with how bad this Bills defense has been?
Yeah, a little bit. If you look at his stats the past few weeks, though, I mean, Brown's kind of, even if he is splitting carries, he's been doing very well, in my opinion. I mean, I have him in a few fantasy leagues. He's dropped 15 plus points, I think, 3 straight weeks. So, I mean, even if he is losing touches, I think with Burrow on the field, he's probably going to be on the field a little bit more as well, just because he's the passing upside. So, I mean, it does seem a little low.
Well, if it's cheese and bait, I took it. I like that 73.5 rushing and receiving yards line. I got it earlier this week at 73.5. You can still get some 73.5s out there as well. Like you said, Sauce Man, I don't really understand this line. He's had 100-plus all-purpose yards in 6 straight games, 78 on the ground and 35 on the air against Baltimore last week. He is a good pass catcher, and as Triz just mentioned, with Burrow being back, him getting even more involved in the passing game. But this Bills defense is 30th in the NFL for rushing yards allowed. Like, they do get gashed on the ground. I don't think that they're going to want – I mean, Burrow's going to be able to move the football through the air because that's just what Joe Burrow does. But I agree with you. The line's sus, but I don't care. Give it to me. I like it. I think he's going to have a nice day today.
I think you're right. Like, the defense has been bad. We've been fading it all year. I just saw the line and all of a sudden was like I don't know, but I think this is going to be a good game. I kind of agree with Chat, too, that I think the Bengals are a live dog today, and not just to cover the spread, but to win outright. Sometimes some games mean a little bit more. This is also a team that, like, these are the two of the 3 teams that are always consistently talked about as top of the AFC. I know the Bengals haven't lived up to it the last 2 years, but they've also been kind of just decimated by injuries every single year. Now they're kind of healthy. You got Jamar Chase, and Burrow back in the lineup. The offense could look a little bit scary. And I think that's why we're seeing a total of 53, 54.5. Sook, what are you thinking in this one?
I just hope that this game is a banger. I kind of want the Bengals to win out the rest of the season just because it throws a wrench into all of the standings. All the teams are going to go crazy. Like, even the other game we're going to see today with, like, the Steelers and Ravens, we're seeing so many implications coming up that if this Bengals team can just rip off 5 wins, I'd love it. Or 3 wins, or whatever it is.
I just want to get to the point where I'm sweating them to win the division ticket later. Well, so we'll see. What do you think about this game, Triz? Interesting line. Did you bet anything here?
So I'm probably going against everybody on panel today, but I am on the Bills, and I think the Bills probably put belt to ass today as well. I think they're going to win more than by more than a touchdown. Just read the line. This Bengals team's coming off of a very big win, divisional opponent against the Ravens on Thanksgiving. Now they're getting this Bills team who bounced back, but were struggling, and they're getting T. Higgins back as well, and it's still almost a touchdown line. I'm just betting the line here to just take everything into consideration here. I think the line is big, and it's probably big for a reason. This Bengals defense is Swiss cheese. And if the Bills are really going to get everything going offensively against any team, it's probably going to be against this very piss poor Bengals defense. So I took the Bills by 6. It might be a little bit of a square bet. I highly doubt it. I'm sure the public is really coming in on the Bengals here. It looks like the splits are a little 50-50, and the line's kind of moving towards the Bills as well. So I do think this could be like a very high scoring game. Don't get me wrong, but like a 44-27 or something of that nature, where it doesn't seem as much belt, but it is belt at the end of the day. I think they're gonna score in bunches. So
I would not be surprised by that whatsoever if that happens. So I have no investment on a side necessarily, but I just hope it's a good game. Yeah, just Chase Brown.
Who's your utility
last-
score in this one then, Triz? If you think the Bills BTA.
I stayed away from touchdowns in that game specifically. T. Higgins was looking at me a little funny, though. I'm not going to lie.
This is a good call. Bills defense is Swiss cheese. The Bengals don't even they're not even cheese anymore. They're from Monday at that point.
It's a good point. Solid point.
All right, let's roll. Let's keep it going. We got a lot of games to get to. I just wanted to start us off there since we were kind of just gabbing about that game. Let's jump to huge game for Suck and Company today, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Tyler Shuck and the New Orleans Saints. 8.5-point favorites are the Buccaneers at home. Baker Mayfield and company looking to kind of get back and be at the top of the NFC South. 41.5-point total for the Bucs. This just feels like a good Bucs spot. I know that a lot of people in survivor pools are taking the Buccaneers this week, which is always scary. Danny was talking about that on any given wager chat. If you're in any survivor leagues, congratulations for making it this far. But Danny is on the Bucs this week. In that regard, the Bucs are a popular play in survivor. The 8.5 is a little scary. That's a little bit sus in my opinion. Kate actually took the first quarter for the Buccaneers. That was her staff article play. So that feels like a nice way to take the Bucs if you want to, if you're scared of the 8.5 over the touchdown line. The Saints are terrible. Tyler Shuck's been okay in certain stretches, but Trizzy knows because he's been betting the Saints over the last couple of weeks that this team is not very good. They will have little moments where they do something all right, but they're not good. So the Buccaneers should take care of business today. Getting a little healthier. Mike Evans and Trey McMillan were looking like they were going to return this week, but looking like it's going to take one more week. And I said it earlier this week that I think it's just because they know that they can win this game without those two guys. And so they're just letting them get a little bit healthier going into the back 4 weeks of the season, the home stretch, as it were. Sook, it's your squad. How you feeling today?
I'm not too worried. I do think that we handle business. I'm not going to bet that spread, but I did take Chris Godwin for 41 receiving yards. It's my staff article play. He's actually hit this line 10 straight against this divisional opponent. These teams hate each other. Both teams have talked about this in their pressers leading up to this week. There's a strong dislike here. It doesn't matter the Saints' record. They do play hard. This will be an interesting game because it's still the NFL. If they're winding down the season, a lot of these guys are playing for contracts. And with the divisional hate, I think this is going to be an exciting game. But give me Chris Godwin, 41 receiving yards. That's my favorite play in this game. Like I said, that's my staff article play. But I don't know if I'm touching that spread.
I know that Betsky has Bucky's rushing yards. Someone was asking that in the chat. That's Betsky's article play. If you want to go check out our staff article, it's at bettingnews.com. It's free. We haven't had a losing week all season, boys. Let's not start now. And I posted a little parlay of all 11 picks. That's actually 11 because Triz and Danny are on the same play, which go and check it out and see what it is. It was plus 40,000 if you want to tail for a cup of coffee or something. V told me to do it 3 weeks ago. It's gotten close a couple times. Maybe we'll get close today. We'll find out.
I mean, if we hit one of these, absolutely legendary, right? Like, and we would regret it quite a bit if we had an 11-0, 12-0 day, and we're just sitting here with no tickets to show for it, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
volunteered SPJ's tribute week in and week out to make a little donation on behalf of everybody.
I've made much worse donations in my life. So
yeah.
What do you guys gotcha. What do you guys think about this game today? Triz, you got any thoughts on this one? This line feels like something that you might want to take a stab at. You've been kind of on the Saints side of things recently. You feel like that 8.5's tasty, or is it just Bucs BTA?
No. I got my lick back on the Saints last week. Now I'm going to leave them alone for the rest of the season because that was kind of luck as well. But this Bucs line is very big. It's very wide. But what I am looking at here is I'm looking at the total. It's a divisional matchup. These NFC South matchups have been going under all season. I don't know the exact statistic behind it, but I do know it's been hitting pretty consistently. And I think it's a low total for a Bucs team that scores a lot of points in a Saints D that isn't very good. So it might be just Bucs BTA 27-3 type of thing. A game soars under, but book ends up winning because of the under and the Bucs. So I do think the Bucs probably they have to roll here. I did take another player prop in this as well. I took Mika Ibuka to score a touchdown today. It's plus 135. This is a guy who's had a dip in production over the past 4 or 5 weeks here, and his number is lower than ever. So I think that's a little telling. I think now that Godwin's getting settled into the offense a little bit more, that now Igbuka can get involved like he was at the beginning of the season, so to say. So I think Baker probably finds him in the end zone today. I took that. I think it was plus 155, but might have moved since. Yeah, I like Kate Otten today as well, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the window there. He's had a lot of red zone looks in the past few weeks.
I think the thing about Emeka, what I've seen is looking at the stats over the first 6-7 weeks of the year, he was seeing an almost 80% catchable target rate. Since then, it's dropped off to just under 50%. Now, a lot of his poor play has to do, like, it's all on Baker. I know last week's game wasn't the best, but they really didn't need to do too much. And the last time they played the Saints team, it was a pretty, it was handled. That was the exact same game too that we saw Spencer Rattler get benched and saw this team flip the switch and go to Tyler Shuck. He didn't play too bad, but now he's getting a full week of preparation and everything, going up against a Bucs team that ranks 29th in receiving yards allowed. It's why I'm going to the tight end at over 39.5, Juwan Johnson. He's been like really good at times, but he's also just been kind of at times. But at 39.5, he's not only leading the Saints in snaps out of the slot, but he's 8th in the NFL in snaps out of the slot. They're heavily utilizing him out in that area, and a lot more with the departure of Rashid Shaheed. I think tonight against a Bucs team that blitzes at a top 5 rate in the NFL, that Shuck's going to have to get the ball out quickly. And the quickest way to do that is to look at your big-bodied tight end for short yardage and let him do something after the catch. Another thing we've seen the Bucs kind of struggle with this year is tackling. A lot of missed tackles, and a lot of them have come at that linebacking level. So I'm looking at Juwan Johnson to have a big day through the air, and I think that the fact that they'll have to pass quite a bit today only helps the situation. And I really don't think that anybody's at risk of like sitting in this one just because Shuck, you want to see what you've got. Juwan Johnson is another not young guy, but on the younger side, right? Then you got Chris Olave, guys that are looking to, develop and have a little bit of a name in this league.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just added something in this game because of what you were talking about with how bad not how bad, but the Tampa Bay pass defense is pretty poor, 29th in the NFL, but they're also 32nd worst in the NFL to receiving yards allowed to the running back position. No Alvin Kamara today. Devin Neal's receiving yards line is 16.5. He's hit that in back-to-back weeks. 22 last week against the Dolphins. He had 43 against Atlanta on 7 catches or 5 catches on 7 targets. I feel the 16.5 is just a little too low for a guy who's going to getting starting running back touches. So give me Devin Neal over 16.5 receiving yards. That's gotten added to what I'm going to do today as well. I like that spot, but I think the Bucs should roll here. I mean, I would not be surprised if maybe the Saints mess around and backdoor cover this, like Trizzy was saying, but I think the Bucs your boys get the job done today, sir.
I will say one thing, though, is in divisional games, that second divisional game is always a little bit tougher. It's tough to sweep a team. No matter if you're tanking or not, the guys in the locker room don't like to lose back-to-back games to another division rival.
No. It doesn't help that they don't have Kamara today just because of how much he means to that offense, so that's unfortunate. Also, I think Olave is questionable / he might be out. I have to double-check that, but that's also
spasms. Even if he does play, I was a little bit hesitant. That's why I haven't brought him up.
Okay. Is he questionable still for sure, or is he going to play?
I think he's going to play.
He is questionable tag still as of right now.
Yeah, but like again, back spasms, I feel like something that could just act up at any point.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of it. No Devon Vele love again, Triz? For a tutty?
No, not today. I hit my. Like I said, I got my lick. Now stay away for the rest of the year.
That was a hell of a pull last week, dude. Crazy touchdown too. Olave is playing.
It was like
thank you
4 to 1, 4.5 to 1, something like that. It was a big one.
Good stuff. All right, so let's move on from that game. I think again, like I said, Sook, I think your boys should be okay. Let's go. Where do you want to go next? Let's go to this. This is a good game we can talk about, and I know Trizzy's got a lot to say about this one. We talked about it earlier with Jaden Daniels being back. Vikings taking on Jaden Daniel and company coming to town. 1.5-point dogs are the Minnesota Vikings at home, which is really interesting in this spot. Also, Jaden Daniels is returning, but also JJ McCarthy is returning. 9 is back. 43.5-point total / 44 across the board. Go ahead, Triz. Take it away. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, man. So this is what I rolled with the staff article pick of this the week. I've been doing real good on there. We jumped back into the win column last week with the Jets. Nobody wanted to take the Jets, and I'm coming right back here because nobody wants to take the Vikings. This Vikings offense has looked so stagnant no matter who's at the helm. JJ has looked awful. But I do not think this Bucs defense is good. I don't think this Bucs team in general is good. I trust this Vikings defense a lot more than I trust this Commanders defense. And on top of that, Jaden Daniels coming back. We talked about his elbow. I don't know how much he's going to really be able to accurately throw the football today. And I trust the Vikings in a slugfest, so to say. And I think they will win a slugfest. I think Jordan Mason's probably going to have a really big day on the ground. He's that type of running back that beats up this Commanders defense. This Commanders defense has not been good against the run. They've been awful against the pass. Like I said, I think if JJ McCarthy's going to have a day, if he's going to have one of those big turnaround days where kind of prove the doubters wrong, it's going to be a day like today. So I'm rolling with the Vikings here at home. I think they're going to get the job done. I think JJ is going to get some of these naysayers, so to say, off his back a little bit. And yeah, I like Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown as well. I took him very low number last week that we were talking about it. He was like
3-1.
3-1 or something to score a touchdown. Now he's back more in the realm of possibilities. I think it's 1.5 to 1. And again, coming off of a 2-point fantasy game last week, that very poor performance from Jefferson. I think he's going to get back to the old Jefferson that we know and love. I think JJ is going to look more like an NFL-style quarterback today against this piss-poor Commanders defense. And I rolled with the Vikes. I like that.
Danny's with you. This is Trizzy's staff pick. And also, I'll give you your flowers. 11-2 this season. 11-2. Trizzy is. I'm 10-3. I felt pretty good about typing that out too.
9-4, not bad. Hey,
all right, man. Mm-hmm.
Close behind.
Look at my record.
6-7. 6-7 is fine. 6-7 is fine. It's fine.
But Triz, I like that a lot too. Another reason that I'm kind of like looking at this, I don't know if you guys saw the comments made by some of JJ's teammates in the media, but Aaron Jones is kind of on the podium talking about like, hey, I've played football my whole life. You don't really have to simplify the game for me. And then Hawkinson too is like, as football players, we don't like to be like, we don't want it to be simplified for us. Don't treat us like we're stupid, right? To me, like, who are you simplifying the offense for? Who is the guy that's not understanding it? It's probably the quarterback, the first year guy that's starting for the first time. This is the time that you kind of come out and you prove yourself. You play well, you throw some touchdowns, you help lead your team to a win against a guy that was in your draft class. So we talk about this all the time in the NBA, but these are two guys, the same draft class, both QBs that played in college together, not together, but like at the same time against each other, came into the NFL at the exact same time. And the conversation, like as long as JJ is starting for the next 5 to 10 years, is going to consist of this guy, Caleb Williams, Jaden McDaniels, and Drake May. He's the only one kind of underperforming, and now you have a chance going up against a guy like Jaden McDaniels or Jaden Daniels. I don't know why I would say McDaniels, but this is a matchup that I think is going to be a little bit of fun. It's also why I like the Jefferson touchdown. I was even looking at Jordan Addison, but I think you're right, Trizzy. The odds on Jefferson make me look like it's going to go that way. And if you're Kevin O'Connell, you got to keep your guy happy, right? You don't want an offseason in which he's requesting a trade. The memes are everywhere right now. And if you want this guy to stay here, you got to pad his stats a little bit and make him feel like he's part of this offense. So I like the touchdown quite a bit for JJ today.
I would not be surprised if we look up and Jay Jettis has 100 yards and a touchdown today. So due for that. And as you said, Triz, this Commanders secondary is pretty bad. Just to say, you know who, I'll get on it ASAP. I thought we do have a quarter zip for any given wager, but I'll get a hoodie up there for you guys so we can get that rocking and rolling for you. There's a hat too. I just skipped the hoodie. I don't know what happened there. Damn it! Department.
All the merch from all the different shows. You know what I mean? Any given wager being such a new show too. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, we love it. We love it. And yeah, Adam's also 10-3. Shout out Adam. We love to see that as well. All right, boys. Anything else for this game? Shall we keep it moving?
We can keep it going.
Yeah,
I got nothing. I like your side here. It's so hard to want to bet on JJ McCarthy though. But
which is why you have to.
I know.
I've been not to toot my own horn, but
toot that shit.
consistently week in and week out, I am taking teams that nobody wants to touch and they keep cashing. So I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm just going to keep looking at the grossest lines on the book and see what makes sense in my head, or what I can make sense of.
As you should.
Jets, like, just to name a couple, man. It's been ugly, but it's been nice.
Yeah,
it's nice when the money hits the account. That's for sure. All right. Speaking of, brother, Dolphins taking on the Jets in MetLife. 3-point dogs are the Jets at home here. 41.5-point total. Now, this is one of those situations, boys. It's December. It's cold. Tua in the cold. Adam said a stat, speaking of Adam, earlier this week on Any Given Wager on Friday, that Tua Tagovailoa, when the temperature is below, I think 37 degrees was the stat, he's 0-9. 0-9 outright and 0-9 covering the spread when it's chilly, because, you know, Tua's got that Hawaiian blood and he don't like playing in the frigid cold. 3-point dogs, though, are the Jets. Could be an enticing line there. Speaking of rat line, this one feels a little fishy there too, my man. Triz, you want to lead us off? What do you like in this game?
Yeah, Jets are razor sharp today, man. Jets are razor sharp, but I am not touching it. I got my lick with the Jets last week. I can't go right back to them this week with the exact same line in a divisional matchup, knowing all the narrative and, as you just mentioned, the stats behind Tua in the cold. I don't think it's that cold today, though. I'm pretty sure it's like 45, 50. It's still kind of cold with a nice little chill, but I mean, I can't take the Jets today. What I did take is I know this guy screwed V last week, so I went to him today. I thought the line was really, really low. I think he does get a lot of the target share, especially in the red zone. He is a freak. He's very hard to cover. This Jets defense is not the best. I took Darren Waller to score a touchdown at plus 250. That's pretty much the only bet I like in this game. I was looking at the total and the over, but taking what I know of Tua in the cold and how stagnant this Jets offense can be at times. They did come through for me last week, but I mean, it was a grind. If you watch the game, it was a grind. Back and forth, they couldn't score. They were punting, and I just in a divisional matchup, I don't trust that many points. I'm gonna take Waller to score a touchdown at those odds, because I feel like you have to, with how the red zone target share he has in the games he plays throughout this season. Even last week, he was targeted a lot, and big body, hard to cover. I think he gets in there today.
Yeah, I completely agree, Tristan. I'm going back to him after he burned me last week. This was a guy that was literally like a good pass away from being in the end zone. Tua literally just threw it a little high, and he couldn't get that second foot down in the back of the end zone. But he still, I'm pretty sure, led the Miami Dolphins pass catchers in receiving yards, despite playing less than 50% of the snaps. He is a big body tight end, and that's exactly what comes in handy when you get close to the end zone here, especially within 20 yards. That's where they're kind of utilizing him more too. You're going to see him come on the field that, like, in more opportunities like that. I think this is a great spot in a plus 250. It feels like the line's a lot shorter too this week than it was last week.
Yep. The Tua and the cold thing is just sketchy. It's obviously just one of those trends that's just so hard to ignore. I like the Waller play. It makes a lot of sense. I'm taking the running back, though. Devon Achane's been on an absolute heater. I got 78.5 rushing yards earlier this week. The line has moved up to in the 80s. I still like it there. If you want to take the rushing and receiving with Achane, go for it, because he is obviously one of the highest targeted players on this team. However, he's had 134, 120, and 174 rushing yards in the last 3 weeks. This is the 25th ranked rushing defense in the Jets. And as you guys mentioned, I mean, Tua is just not good in the cold. So I don't know if they're going to need to lean on Achane. I think he gets 20 to 25 carries. Hopefully this game doesn't turn into I can't imagine the Jets are winning this game by 10 points at some point, so they're going to not run the football. So I just feel like the 78.5 is just too low. I like the 80 plus. I like the 90 plus. Hell, you can take him to 100 if you want. He's been so good. Offensive player of the month in the AFC, which is pretty wild with how many incredible performances we've seen across the AFC this last month. So it goes to show you how good Achane's been, and I think that he's going to continue to be good again today.
But speaking of trends, SPJ, Tua is 0-7 actually when the weather is under 46 degrees Fahrenheit. We're seeing a high of 42 in New York today. But if you want to look at the other trend, is Tua is actually 6-0 as a starter against New York.
Wow.
There's a trend
That's
on
pretty
the other
interesting.
side. There's always a
There's
trend.
always
on the other
there's
side.
always a trend to convince you of your argument. That is how trends work. You can always find something. We'll work on this. We'll get that for you. Shout out Slop too. Love to see it. All right, lads, let's keep it rolling. Anything else in MetLife today? It's gonna be unless you're a fan of one of these teams. The Dolphins also, last point, the Dolphins also still technically can make the playoffs. So they are still playing for their playoff lives. They're not going to make it most likely, but mathematically, which helps locker room morale. And as Chat's kind of talking about, the Jets need to kind of lose so they can get into a better draft position. But as we know, in this portion of the season, players don't do that. They just want to play football. So we'll see what happens.
Before we move on, just real quick, this is probably not hitting, but 450 plus 450 for Tyrod Taylor to get in the end zone. The Dolphins are giving up 4 rushing touchdowns this year to opposing QBs. The weather's really fucking bad. I know that Adonai Mitchell and Mechie have been getting a lot of love recently, but at plus 450, we know Tyrod is mobile. And like you said, SPJ, these are not guys that are looking to lose the games despite the franchise and the fans maybe wanting that. Guys like Tyrod are absolute ballers. A guy like Adonai Mitchell and even Aaron Glenn, all underdogs with the way the season has gone. I doubt they're just looking to, just roll over and die.
100%. I like it. By Sauceman's request, we're not going to talk about the Packers game yet, and we're not going to talk about the Seahawks game yet because we don't want to miss out on that. So let's talk about this banger in Cleveland. Browns taking on the Titans today, a game that probably nobody's going to watch unless you're a fan of one of these franchises. But it is the Shedeur Sanders versus Cam Ward show. So the number 1 overall pick versus the guy who a lot of people thought could have been and should have been. 4-point spread. I think it's moved down to 3.5 in most places now. Browns at home. One of the best defenses in the NFL. Myles Garrett looking to become the all-time sack leader. He's probably going to have like 7 today against the pretty bad offensive line from the Tennessee Titans. Gross total. Grody total. 34-point total. 34.5 in some places. Just stinky. So again, if you're not a fan of these, yeah, absolutely, game of the year for sure. I'm gonna be watching. I'm excited. Before I talk about this game a little bit more in depth, I've got the rhythm play of the day in this one too. Do you guys have any thoughts on this before I take over?
I didn't even open this one. I didn't drop down menu. Didn't even open.
I've been chasing the over in Browns games for probably two weeks straight, and this is the lowest it's been in 3 weeks, and I'm not taking it. So it's probably going to be 50 points in this game. It's too low. It's getting to that point. It's like this is professional football. I think the lowest total I've seen sports gambling in like 10 plus years is probably like I think it was 31 at one point. And I think it was a Saints game. It was way back COVID days. I think it was really, really low, and it was like snow and stuff. We're starting to teeter there. And I get this Titans offense has been piss poor. The Browns offense has not been anything flashy either, but I mean, the Titans D is not the best, as my man SBJ knows. So I don't know. This game has no business going over, so it might. The total's a little bit too low. I think it's a sharp number as well. 4. Where I don't know where the Browns deserve to lay 4 against anyone this season. I guess it's 100%. Really the Browns. It's the Browns defense laying 4, not really the entire team laying 4. It's really the defense. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking any sort of bet in here. The over's talking to me because I know if I don't take it, it's going to be the week that it hits.
I agree with you. Exactly. There's also the situation of Cam Ward versus Shedeur, which we talked about, and they had that interaction in the offseason before the draft process where Shedeur was like, come and rap with me and things like that. And Cam was like, no, I'm a football player, dog. Like people gonna know me as a football player. The Titans were bad last week against the Jags, and they burned me. Cam Ward had one of his worst games of the season, coming off 3 straight games against really good defenses, looking really, really good, making progress. Jags defense kind of took care of them last week. I think he bounces back a little bit this week, as in Cam Ward does. Again, though, this team's terrible. I want them to keep losing so they get the number 1 overall pick. So I don't really care if they win or lose this football game. But I do think that somebody's going to have some success. Let's go dance.
This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh, yeah. I know you want to say it. This is the rhythm of my life. This is the rhythm of my life.
Back-to-back weeks, and let's get chiggy with it. Chigakonkwo, 31-plus receiving yards for the talented tight end. Chat, I told you about this play last week, and he had 29 receiving yards. They didn't move the line. Now, I know the Browns' defense is pretty good, but I only need 21. And if you guys know, this is the second most targeted wide receiver on this entire offense. Cam Ward, when he gets in trouble, looks for Chig, and also they kind of design plays for him, especially with how banged up they are in the wide receiver room. This line makes no sense. It makes no sense. 20.5. It was also almost my staff article play as well, but I didn't want to go back-to-back weeks giving you guys the same stuff. So I just talked about it here. And our friends at RITHMM absolutely love it as well. It's one of their favorite plays via their models. You can use our promo code VIBES25 to get involved with everything that RITHMM has to offer over there too. Guys, like I said, I don't really understand why this line has not been adjusted, but I'm going to keep taking it because this just makes no sense. Cam's going to get him probably 2 to 3 catches, and maybe he breaks a tackle and then gets most of this on one play. Again, the defense is scary. Myles Garrett's probably going to have 5 sacks. Like I said, his sack is minus 500, which is nasty.
Oh my God.
It's gross. But I really like Chig. Like I said, you can check him out. Go check out our friends and our partners at RITHMM, rhythm.ai. You can get involved with their app. You can use their platform as well. Use our promo code VIBES25. You can build your own models and find sexy little plays like this. Chigakonkwo, 21.5 receiving yards for one of their sharp plays as well. Not the model that you really want. You got to go to a different app for that. But the model that you need, go check out RITHMM and get involved with everything they have over there. Yeah, I think the Titans might win this game. And again, I'm going to be watching it. I'm not going to tell you guys to bet the Titans plus the points because I said it last week, and again, they burned me, and I've been good about not betting my team in situations when I didn't think they were going to make me money this year instead of just blindly betting them a lot. Probably going to end up betting them on my own because I do think that they could cover. As you said, Triz, the Browns do not deserve to be 4-point favorites. But regardless of what's going to happen, it's going to be a battle because of these two dudes coming out there and wanting to play well. I don't know how the teams around them are going to help them because both of the supporting casts are not very good. Mm-hmm. So that's going to come into play here as well. But I trust Cam Ward and his development right now in comparison to how many starts Shedeur has. Never been a big Shedeur guy myself, even back when he was in college. So I think that Cam's going to play better than Shedeur today, and I think that it could lead to a Titans victory. I just hope that Cam Ward plays well, Titans play okay, and they lose by a field goal at the end of the game. That's all I hope. So then that they keep the #1 overall pick. That's what I'm hoping for.
Put Shedeur and Myles Garrett in the middle of the field alongside Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, and just let the 4 of them battle it out. That's it. Just those are the 4 guys we want to see today. That's it, right? Like outside of those, there's maybe some Alec Manor love and maybe some Harold Fannin Jr., a couple other rookies that have been good this year. But I agree, SBJ. I think it's very much a toss-up, but Cam Ward's looked really fucking good this year. That can't be argued with.
100%. Well, people will choose to argue with it.
They're not watching the games.
Well, yeah, for sure. Every time there's someone you try to also slander Shedeur at all, it turns into you're just racist. And it's like, Cam Ward's black too, guys. Like, come on now.
It's in extremes. That the whole conversation, it just lives in extremes on one side or the other. Like, let's just be normal and watch him play football.
Yeah, we could watch him play basketball too. That could be interesting. All right, let's move on. Again, stinky game. Maybe some people are paying attention to it. I'll be watching it. Let's move on to a game in another AFC South team. 2 AFC South teams with a lot more on the line, though. Jags taking on the Colts. Jacksonville right now are sitting at plus 1.5. It's pretty much, you can find value on either money line, really, if you want. Colts coming into Jacksonville minus 1.5 as well. Over-under is set at 45.5, 46.5 by our friends at Bet Online. You see right there on the screen. One more trend I'll say, because Adam brought this up on Friday, which I thought was super interesting. The Colts have not beaten Jacksonville since I can't remember when it was. It's been like 8 or 9 straight games. They have not won a game in Jacksonville in a long time. So it's a huge game for both of these teams in the division standings. Winner of this game will be top of the division. And like I was saying earlier this week, the Texans are looking to make a push right now to get involved with this division. A massive game for them on Sunday Night Football, which we won't spend too much time talking about, but we will touch on later against the Chiefs. But lead us off. What do you kind of like in this game? Massive battle between two teams that need to get a dub today.
Honestly, this is one of those games where I was looking at it like it's going to be fun. Like you just said, it's the battle in the AFC South. The Colts have now lost 2 of the last 3 games, back-to-back losses for the first time all year, and they've watched their lead here in the AFC South slip away. The Jaguars have been involved in some ugly games. They had that big collapse 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago against the Texans, and since then they've kind of gotten it together. Last week we saw them handle business. The week before that too. But I think it's because of this one guy that I'm about to talk about. It's Jacoby Myers. They made this move at the trade deadline, and he's had a huge effect so far. His target share so far has been fantastic. I think he leads the team in target share since arriving here in Jacksonville. The team is also now back with their the young tight end we watched play such good football to start the year, Brenton Strange. He's been really good. And just for a little bit of narrative, Brenton Strange and Tyler Warren, both former Penn State tight ends, both guys that played together. I don't know what the relationship was like, but Warren was a redshirt in the last couple of years of Strange's time there at Penn State. And not because of that, but I am going to the rookie tight end on the other side for a touchdown, plus 140. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars red zone defense has not been good. Warren scored last week, and he's only got 4 touchdowns this week through the air, 1 rushing, but that's because they use him under center for these QB sneaks as well. And I think that might be even more prevalent today with Danny Dimes dealing with the fibula fracture.
I like it. I have a prop in this game as well. It's also on the Colts side of things. Moved to Skosh, so I got a little bit of a bad number, but I like Alec Pierce over 53.5 receiving yards, minus 115 to line I got on this. He's hit this in 5 of his last 6 games. And when he hits, he soars 69 plus receiving yards in all 5 of those games. So well over this. He's the kind of their big play guy. If you guys have watched Colts games, then you know that he is like usually the one catching those deep bombs from Danny Dimes. But the reason why I like this a lot as well is because the last 2 times he played against Jacksonville, that was when he was more like wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 for this team. So he was like getting 2 targets, good for like 1 big play, hit his line both times against Jacksonville last year. 25th in the NFL in receiving yards allowed as well. So I think he's going to have some opportunities today. I know Chef's on Michael Pittman. I don't hate that. Kind of a bounce back after a bad game last week. The Jacksonville defense can get beat through the air. They've been really good against the run, really good front. That front has been causing problems, but this is one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. I think that will keep Danny Dimes upright and him be able to take advantage of this defense. So don't have a feeling about a side. Both of these teams right now are just really hard to cap from a like win-loss perspective, and I think the line is set appropriately. If you like one team, just pick a side and go for it. But I didn't find any edge either way on that direction. Just could be a good game for some props though, like V was talking about, and like I have with Pierce. Triz, what do you think about this game?
So I'm on the Colts here. I think they bounce back. I really do. I went right back to them after last week. I think this is a pretty sharp line here. Betting public loves the Jaguars, but Vegas loves the Colts today. And I do know that the Jaguars are in the top 5 of the Circus contest most picked spreads, something like that. And I know there's not that many contestants left. There's probably 100 or 2, but that stuff still matters. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, Adam pointed out a different line, but I do know the Jags are one of them. And Danny Dimes played so well for so long, and then now last week he played like shit. Week before he played like shit. I think it's just a matter of time before this offense really snaps back and gets back into the groove of things. I think this Jaguars defense has been overperforming in recent weeks, and I do think they give up a lot of points. They gave up almost 30-something points to a Texans offense led by Davis Mills. I think
they're bad on third downs, Triz. So bad.
Yeah. Terrible on third downs. I think Jonathan Taylor is probably going to carve this defense up today. I think Colts roll here. I don't think the one's going to matter. I think this is probably a touchdown plus. I've seen the Jags bend and break multiple times this season, and even in games the Colts have lost, they've never gotten belt. They've been in it right to the very end. Even last week, they were in it right to the very end. So I think this offense is going to turn around this week. I love the Colts.
Let's go.
Like I said, if you have a strong, I lean with you. Colts win too, but it's hard to back a team that hasn't won in Jacksonville since Nam. But maybe today's the day. Better team situation, and fuck the Jags. I don't really dislike the Colts. Colts are fine. I don't like them because of this division, but the Jaguars can go to the sun. Just got a text from Danny also because I told you he's in Survivor, so he's still alive. And the Survivor League that Danny's in is like an $80,000 Survivor League. And so he is like Yeah, and this is the furthest he's ever made as Survivor. So he's in, and he said that on the show. I'm not like putting anything out there that's not common knowledge. And he said that he was going to take the Bucks. He's been saying it all week, and he actually is changing. He's not taking the Bucks anymore because everybody and their mother is on the Bucks in Survivor this week, and we know how that goes. So just giving you guys some inside info. If you're out there betting Survivors as well, Bucks are scary.
Insane.
I think they win. I don't think they lose. I don't think there's any way they lose to the Saints, but we've seen this story so many times before. Frank B says the weather's supposed to be terrible in Jacksonville today. Is it supposed to be like nasty and rainy?
Yeah, and windy, both.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It makes me feel great about my Alec Pierce play.
So who has the better rushing offense? It sounds like an easy play to me. Like
JT,
No.
baby.
I wouldn't even say it's the rushing. It's the offensive line. That shit parts like the Red Sea. It's fucking insane. Like when you watch them play, it literally opens up, and then it's like, how is the middle of the field that open? That never happens.
Part the seas. Man, we've been live for an hour. This is going to be a fun day of football, boys. We're only halfway through, but there's going to be some bangers out there today as these games start to matter a little bit more. We got a little over 5,500 of you guys watching us across all platforms. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys tuning into the Betting News Network, getting you ready to rock and roll into NFL Week 14. Reminder, we're doing a giveaway today a little bit later. Come and hang out with us. Twitch.tv/betting news is how you enter to win one of our new Vibes hats in honor of us smacking our parlay yesterday. If you're watching us on X or YouTube, appreciate you. But if you want to enter to win, come and hang out with us on Twitch and hang out with our chat. They're having a great time. They're probably talking shit to each other. They're talking shit to us. They're telling us their plays. They're sharper than us most of the time. Come and kick it.
That's the thing I will say. If you're on Twitter or on YouTube or anything else, the one thing you miss out on is our Twitch chat. And our Twitch chat's pretty cool.
They're pretty dope. And we're not just, telling you guys that. So, all right, let's keep it rolling. Cash Money knows the vibes. Let's go to, where do you guys want to go next? Let me see where I'm looking at here. We've done quite a few of the noon games. We're getting to the point where we are almost through the noon kickoffs. I didn't skip any there. We're good there. Let's go to the Battle of the Birds. Let's go to Seattle. Go to Hotlanta. Falcons, Seahawks. Talked about this with Bijan a little earlier. 7-point spread, 6.5 in some places now. Tick down a skosh. 44.5 solid total, though, still, as the Seahawks look to continue to roll. Falcons got to win this game. They're pretty much cooked, though. That bird is out. But they can still technically be mathematically alive. 4-8 on the season. Kirk Cousins getting another start. Sam Darnold didn't have to do a lot last week in his return to Minnesota. However, that defense took care of business, intercepting Max Brosmer 4 times, and also Max Brosmer having his Will Levis moment, which was funny to watch as well. I didn't bet this, boys, but I really like the Seahawks today. I think the Seahawks win. Probably don't cover, though, which is why I didn't take the 7. It's down to 6.5 now. But I think the Seahawks might cook them. I know I'll let V kind of take it away talking about the JSN love because that's his staff article play. And I've loved watching this guy all season. A little bit of a bounce back spot. He finally didn't have over 100 yards last week. You think he goes off this week?
I mean, so he's in the media and he's talking about diva wide receivers and what it's like to, not get the volume after having the game he just did for 24 yards, 4 targets. What does he say? He's like, I want to win ball games. That's all I give a shit about. He's like, I know what it feels like to win now. That's all I want to do. And as soon as someone says something like that, what happens? They're showered with 9 targets, 10 targets, and I think they're going to have a huge day on the field. JSN is the #1 rated wide receiver this year against zone coverage, something Atlanta's doing at a top 10 rate this year. Not only is he first in yards per route run, targets per route run, but he has absolutely cooked zone defenses this year. He has a first in separation rate, and nobody has been able to cover this guy. He is taking deep shots. He has cooked any kind of cornerback he's faced off with. I think this Atlanta team has been good, but they've kind of regressed over the last few weeks. JSN seeing a 35.9% target share this year. He's averaging 111 yards, and he is on pace for possibly the only 2,000-yard receiving season ever in the NFL. That's how good this guy has been so far. I think that this is one of those games where the line's set a little bit low because of the matchup, because of the fact that they're 6.5-point favorite on the road. But this ATL team hasn't been no slump. They scored 20-plus points in 3 of the 4 games Kirk's played in. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's averaging over 200 yards and completing 67% of his passes. The offense isn't as good as it's been with Michael Penix, but I wouldn't say Kirk's been, terrible. So I think this game stays closer than maybe people think, and I love JSN's receiving yards and the touchdown today.
Nice. Nothing wrong with taking JSN, man. I have a play in this game too. And then actually, Triz, talk a little bit about the spread. Do you like anything in this one before I talk about my prop?
So the Seahawks are the most bet spread across every sports book. They have over 93% of tickets, I believe. Terrible sign, in my opinion.
You know how that goes.
Yep, exactly. I looked to the total here. I took the over 44. Not really something that many people would want to touch. Kind of a good defense versus, a great defense versus a good defense. Not really something that makes you comfortable, but I just think the Seahawks are going to be able to score today. If the Jets put up some points against the Falcons, the Seahawks definitely should be able to. And we know how that Seahawks defense is as well. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins playing pretty decent. I wouldn't be surprised that the Seahawks defense put up 7-14 themselves. It's kind of similar to something like when the Seahawks played the Cardinals. It was like 38-0 at the end of the second quarter, and game flew over with ease. I could kind of see something like that going here. Maybe Kirk Cousins gets a few touchdowns up in garbage time later on in the game. Maybe that's how the 7 ends up covering. But I like the over 44 here.
Good way to take it, especially with the scary. Like I talked about, Seahawks probably win. Falcons mess around and cover. And, everybody's happy. I'd have a prop in this game. I like the JSN play, Sauce Man. I feel like that's a good way to do it as well. But I'm going with the running back, Zach Charbonnet, over 34.5 rushing yards. Atlanta Falcons have actually been pretty bad against the run, especially over the last 4 weeks. 25th in rushing yards allowed, 21st to running backs. And it's been kind of a split between him and Kenneth Walker. You can ask a lot of Seahawks fans. They've been kind of clamoring for more Kenneth Walker, but Zach Charbonnet is not going to go away. 10-plus carries in 3 of his last 4 games. He had 52 on the ground against Minnesota last week. This line's just too low. I don't understand why this line is sub 40. So give me the rushing yards for Charbonnet. If you want to take the rushing and receiving, go for it. But he kind of just gets handoffs at this point. He's hit this in 2 of his last 4 games. I think he's going to get ample opportunity here. Actually, he's hit this in 3 of his last 4 games and has 4 straight sub 35 rushing yard games as well. It's over 35, sub 34.5 line. That's what I was trying to say. But I really like Charbonnet. He's also my fantasy team. So have a day, Zach. That'd be great. Please and thank you. There we go. Cool. Anything else on what's up, Dalton? Thanks for tuning in, man. If you're watching us on X, thanks for being here, Dalton. But if you want to enter a giveaway we're doing today, come and hang out with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/bettingnews. But we appreciate you, and good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. Anything else in this one before we move on?
No.
All right, now. Let's go to – let's talk about this one. Is this late window or early window?
Late window.
Is this late window? We'll save that one for a second then. Let's talk about. There's one more in the early window that I wanted to bring up, and I forgot. Oh, this one.
Steelers.
Yep. Steelers Ravens. Huge game in the AFC North. Ravens 5.5-point favorites here against Aaron Rodgers, dealing with that broken fracture in his wrist. 5.5, I think, is still the live line. Let me just double check that we are still looking at a 5.5-point spread here. Where's this game? There it is. Yep, 5.5, 42.5, 43.5, a little bit. Totals moved a skosh up if you want to go that direction. The Ravens, both of these teams really need to win. Steelers especially, but both of them looked bad last week. Got to have bounce-back performances from both of these teams at the top of the AFC North. This is a battle for the top of the AFC North as we sit right now. Steelers getting a win, they would be back above the Ravens. The Ravens, if they win, they could separate themselves even further from the floundering Steelers. My staff article plays in this one, but I'll let V talk first about this game a little bit more before I talk about my favorite prop here.
Honestly, I was looking at a couple of touchdowns in this one. One was Mark Andrews sitting on the Ravens side. He just got that fat contract extension. Looks like they're going to be moving forward with him, and Isaiah likely will be looking for a new home come the offseason. Just makes me kind of feel like he's going to get in the end zone. Lamar also hasn't had a passing touchdown in back-to-back weeks, and I mean, when he is throwing passing touchdowns, especially multiple passing touchdowns, at least one, if not 2, are going to Mark Andrews. He's seen a first read target share in the red zone over 30%. And again, this is just an offense that has not looked exceptionally well over the last 2 games, and they really need to get it together. The Bengals are right at their heels. They're going to have to face them twice still this year, or one more time this year. I just think this is a game you have to win, and you need your big-time guys to show out. One of the guys is the guy you just gave the big-time contract. On the other side, I was looking at DK Metcalf. I think that we talk about this Baltimore Ravens team a lot during the first quarter of this year, or the first half of this year, and how bad their passing defense was. Then they rattled off a couple of wins against some subpar teams where maybe the defense didn't look as bad, but I think that had more to do with the teams they faced than the offenses, than their defense. So give me DK Metcalf to get in the end zone. He hasn't looked the best, but he is leading this team in receiving touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers is looking his way often once they get within 20 yards. I think he's also capable of busting off a big one. And here in the cold, it just makes it a little bit harder to tackle sometimes. So you never know. A big guy like DK is an asset in a game like this, I think.
You kind of teed me.
Oh, go. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you know that like between the 6 MVPs these two guys have, Rodgers and Lamar have never played each other ever?
Whoa.
Wow.
They've never played each other.
That's crazy.
They have 6 MVPs?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
3 and 3. Or 4 and 2.
4 and 2, isn't it? Rodgers has 4, does he not?
Rodgers has 4, yeah.
Rodgers has 4 MVPs? Wow.
I mean, individually, he was elite during his time.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 4 is crazy.
Yeah, 2011, 2014, 2020, 2021.
Wow. Crazy. Well, boys, put the crown on. Give me the king. 80-plus rushing yards. He's had 20-plus carries or 19-plus, 18, I guess. About 20 carries in 6 straight games. Was having a great game against Cincinnati last week, and then they just went away from him. Only gave him 10 touches, 10 carries on 60 yards against one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL, and then they just stopped giving him the football. Dumb offensive game planning from the Ravens in that game. I think that they're going to right the ship in this spot. And as you mentioned, V, when it gets cold, when December is around the corner, I've seen it for so many years as a Tennessee Titan. People do not like tackling Derrick Henry for 4 quarters when it's cold. I don't think anybody likes tackling Derrick Henry anyway, but especially when it's in the chilly cold. I think the Kings going to have a huge day today. 160 and 180 rushing yards in games against the Steelers last year. And the Steelers have been low-key getting cooked on the ground, especially the last 4 weeks. 4 straight starting running backs have gone over their rushing yards line against the Steelers defense. And last week, we saw the cherry on top, James Cook, go for 144. And I don't know if you watched that game, but they were getting gashed on the ground. And I think that they're going to do something similar to them once again today at home. So I really like the King. Give me the 80-plus. And I think that he has a huge day, as long as they are not dumb and they give him the football 15 to 20 times.
Did you take it to 100 for the plus money?
Does the Pope shit in the wood with the bear hat on, or whatever that?
I got to be honest. I just have a unit on the 100 because of all the things you said. Let's go.
Yes, I completely agree with you know who too. If you're not giving him the ball, if we're seeing some more bullshit like we did last week, the OC, maybe the head coach needs to go because that was disgusting. You know what I mean? You don't feed him in the second quarter, then again you do it in the fourth quarter. I honestly don't give a shit. If somebody's gonna tell me Derrick Henry isn't a pass catching back, I am going to show you the door. Like he's a football player and he's huge. Give him the ball.
Don't make it hard. And just give him the damn football. There you go. Take over and B. Now you're thinking. Let's get Trizzy back up here to kind of wrap this up in this one. Then we'll move to the late window. Thoughts on a side here? Adam is, we talked about earlier, Adam's 10-3 in our staff article play. And that's one of those situations where he is on the Ravens, -5.5. So he liked the Birds to get the job done in this spot. I kind of like the Ravens too. Fade the Steelers. I feel like it's the right spot to take them, but I just went with Henry instead, which kind of leans into the Ravens probably getting the job done. Do you have a thought on the side here, Triz?
I agree with the Ravens. I think the Ravens should bounce back pretty big time this week. They're bouncing off. They're coming off that loss on Thanksgiving Eve, where game kind of got away from them there, and here they come again. Another divisional matchup, land a pretty big number, I'd say. I think Aaron Rodgers' wrist is not fully there. I think it is hindering him. It's going to keep hindering him. And I think this Ravens offense is going to click eventually. Lamar is going to start running again eventually. If you look at the past 3-4 weeks where this team has been struggling a little bit. Lamar's just not running the football anymore. He's really trying to make things happen with his arm. I don't know if it's because he's injured or what. Eventually, he's going to start running again. Eventually, the offense is going to start clicking on all cylinders again, like it was at one point. And I think maybe it's this week. The Steelers defense has been pretty good, but when Lamar's rolling, he's a former MVP for a reason. I just, like I said, I think he's going to start running. Once he starts running, this offense is going to look a lot better than it has. They're going to start putting up a lot more points. And I like the 5.5 with the Ravens today.
Not to derail us, but since everyone's on the Ravens, did you guys see Big Ben say that maybe they should move on from Mike Tomlin, even though it's been 19 seasons under his tenure?
I think this could be the season, especially if they don't go 500 and make the playoffs, that he'll get kicked. He'll get canned. And then come to Tennessee, Mike. Love to have you. Come and hang out in Nashville. You fit right in.
Tough look from Big Ben, but I do agree with the sentiment. Like he does gotta go.
Hey man, whatever. I can't think of a good metaphor about it right now, but whatever. You
just need a young whiz head coach, man. Trust me. You don't want Mike Tomlin making Cam Ward throw to the sidelines 95% of the time. Like, trust me, you don't want to.
Yep. Let's go, B. Dot. Let's go. This is dedication.
Hell yeah.
Dedication. We love you, B. Dot. We did go through this game already. If you want to watch the replay, but real quick before we jump to the late window, what did we have in this game that we liked? Bengals, Bills.
T. Higgins touchdown. I liked a lot. We liked some Jamar props. I know Chef really likes Chase Brown touchdown, and then SPJ did rushing and receiving yards.
Yeah, I took Chase Brown rushing, receiving, and then we talked about Jamar some. Kind of lean. Trizzy also likes the Bills to win and cover.
I am on the Bills.
On the Bills. I don't have a side play. I kind of like the over. I think maybe the over goes in that game, but those are the kind of things we talked about. If you want to go watch the full breakdown, you can rewind a little bit and go back to the beginning of the show, but thanks for asking. All right, let's move to the late window. I don't know how much time we're going to spend on this game, but at least bring it up here. Broncos, Raiders. Raiders are terrible. 7.5-point dogs at home, 40-point total. Broncos are frauds, though. Those damn donkeys. I ain't got nothing to say about this game. This game stinks. Of all the games, this one feels like the one I'm probably not going to pay attention to the most. Don't like the Broncos. They probably should win, but they'll end up probably messing around and not covering for some reason because it's the Broncos. And Geno Smith could maybe have a random awesome game thrown to that guy, Brock Bowers. Sauce Man, you liking this one?
Right there, that man, Brock Bowers. I'm going back in, 59.5 receiving yards. I know he had 4 targets last week, and he really made me sweat that out till he caught that second touchdown. But last week he had 4 catches on 4 targets, 2 of them being 4 touchdowns. The offense has not been good, and I talked about this last week, but Chip Kelly was literally calling plays that were never installed in this offense. Last week was the first week that they kind of had a new OC and calling plays, and it didn't look the best. They did not look good by any means, but we're looking at a team that just played this Broncos team a few weeks ago. They only scored 7 points. The Broncos scored 10 points in that game, and it was just super fucking ugly. But now they're going back inside in Las Vegas, and we're getting a total not high, but at 40.5. So I took the Brock Bowers receiving yard line. I think that he's missed a bunch of time this year. He's a guy that wants to play football and produce some big numbers. I took the 59.5. I also did take the touchdown. There's nobody else on this offense. I know Trey Tucker's had maybe some snaps and things like that, but with the Broncos and how good they've been in terms of pass rush and in their secondary, it feels like you got to give it to Bowers and get the fuck out of the way.
You should. Absolutely. Triz, you got any thoughts on this game?
No. I stayed far away. I think I took the under on the side last week between the Chargers and the Raiders. Raiders looked like donkey all game, under soaring all game, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 21 points, the game goes over or something like that, or 21 points in the fourth quarter, game goes over, got screwed there. Now the total's a little bit lower. If I was going to take anything, I'm looking at the total here, but I think that's the second total in as many weeks as I've lost on this Raiders team. So I'm just staying away entirely.
Don't blame me. Like the Bowers play, that'd be the only thing I'd even want to think about touching. Broncos are frauds. RJ Harvey's in a good spot too, but again, Sean Payton goes through stretches where he just throws McLaughlin out there and Harvey just doesn't exist to him. So it's frustrating as a RJ Harvey owner in fantasy. Okay. So, Chuck, any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I did play something. I played Geno Smith under his longest passing completion, under 32.5 yards. The Broncos, sure, we might think they're frauds. You might have thoughts about Bo Nix, but that pass defense is for real. And I'm sure that Geno's got a lot of demons inside of him because he's hearing all of this noise because this has not been a good season for Las Vegas.
I kind of like that. That's pretty surgical.
It's an under. It's disgusting, but I did it.
Surgical. All right, the last two late window games, and then we'll start cooking. We're hitting the parlay today, boys. I'm feeling it. Cardinals, Rams. 9-point dogs are the Arizona Cardinals at home in Glendale. 8.5 in some places. 48.5 point total. 47, as you can see on the screen. It's up a skosh, depending on where you're shopping. I mean, this just feels like a Rams spot, but that's a big number. And Jacoby Brissett has been pretty good for the Cardinals. Nothing to play for as they are eliminated from playoff contention. No Marvin Harrison Jr. There's quite a few injuries on the Arizona side of things. So could be a tough day for the Cardinals in Glendale. I have a prop in this game that I like, but Triz, do you like anything in this game? Feels like maybe an over spot points.
A divisional matchup kind of scared me away from it. My thoughts though, I wanted to take the Rams. I'm a little scared off. Here was my thought process. They hung a huge spread on the Rams last week against a better team, the Panthers, and the Panthers won outright. They had no problem turning around, giving them 10 points in a divisional matchup the following week. So I think the books are kind of expecting the Rams to bounce back big, probably put belt to ass, but I'm going to stay away. Just this Rams team has scared me on big spreads a few too many times this season. So I'm just going to go away. I do think that spread is very telling, though. It's a lot of points.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that. The spread is scary, but the Rams should bounce back. I'm taking Jacoby Brissett. I took his passing yards over 249.5, minus 115. It's hit in 7 straight games. All the games he started this season, he's had 250 plus. 300, 317, and 452 in the last 3 games as well. And I know the Rams defense is very good, especially that defensive line, but they have been allowing a lot of passing yards. Bryce Young went for 206 last week. 3 of the last 4 quarterbacks to take on the Rams have gone over their passing yards line. Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, and Bryce Young. Baker Mayfield did not, but that was the game he got hurt. So can't really count that game specifically. Yeah, I think Jacoby Brissett's going to keep cooking like he has been. Do I think it's going to lead to a win? Probably not. Michael Wilson's also in a really good spot too without Marvin Harrison Jr. in the lineup for the Cardinals. Michael Wilson has been fantastic. 36 last week on Marvin Harrison Jr.'s return, but in back-to-back weeks before that without MHJ in the lineup, incredible target share, 18 and 15 targets, 15 and 10 catches, and 185 and 118 receiving yards. His line's 72.5. Don't hate that either. Would not be surprised if we look up and Michael Wilson had yet another 100-yard game. Don't think it's going to matter for the Cardinals, though. But I like Brissett. That was the one I took at 249.5.
Yeah, I like that. I was looking at Michael Wilson just because of the target share, like you said, SPJ over the last few weeks. But I took a touchdown score on the other side, and it's not Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is at minus 150 today. I think Puka's minus 120. I think everyone's kind of expecting Matt Stafford to have a little bit of a bounce-back game after last week. And while that's probably very likely, the guy is going to come in, and he's had 3+ passing touchdowns multiple times this year. A guy I'm looking at is Kyron Williams. Williams has scored in all 4 of his starts against this Cardinals team. He's also played fantastic against them, averaging 95.5 yards and nearly 30 yards through the air. This is a guy that is still dominating the red zone touches despite splitting carries with Blake Corum, and a guy that is dominating red zone targets in terms of running back targets. When they get down within 20, he's usually the guy in the backfield that they're using, and we've seen Corum kind of fumble it, I think, twice this year within the 10-yard line. So this is a guy that they're looking to, and I think that honestly, the price on Devontae Adams is what kept me off of it. I think there's going to be a lot of people just running to the window to bet this Matt Stafford redemption and the fact that he's been an MVP candidate. But like Trizzy said, this is a 10-point spread here. The over-under sitting at 48 in a divisional matchup. There's going to be points scored in this one, and usually when the Rams are scoring a ton of points, Kyron Williams is likely to get into the end zone. They also rank fourth worst in the amount of red zone rushing touchdowns allowed. They've given up 11 this year, and they've given up a touchdown to the opposing running back, I think, in 5 straight games. So I love everything to do with Kyron today at minus 105.
Yeah, I'm seeing plus 100. I like this a lot, V. It's kind of more of a zag when you've been zigging sort of situation. Back-to-back games, like you mentioned as well, against the Cardinals with touchdowns. So,
yeah. And usually I don't like a plus money on a running back. That's super fucking sus. But when you were playing with Devontae Adams, a guy who has 12 red zone touchdowns, it's there for a reason. They're not running from the 1 yard line, so you don't get those opportunities. This is probably going to be from a bigger play or something where they take away Devontae. But in a divisional game, that feels like the first thing you have to do is eliminate the guy that burned you last time this year.
Also, because you mentioned this too, Kyron Williams, his receiving yards line is 10.5. Not really a guy who gets involved in the passing game a lot, but in back-to-back games against the divisional opponent last year, 16 and 27 receiving yards in both of those games. So well over the 10.5. If you want to take more of a prop with Kyron, we could just take the touchdown for plus money though. All right, let's move on. Last game in the late window. We made it. Packers, Bears, huge battle in the NFC North. 6.5-point favorites are the Packers as we sit right now. 44.5-point total. It's such an interesting game because it's a bigger spread than I was expecting when the line dropped, especially with how good the Bears have been. Packers have been good too, so that makes sense. But this line felt a little high. Still feels high to me, which makes me lean with the Packers. So shout out to you, V. But take it away, man. You've been talking about this game all week. You and Danny did a great piece on bettingnews.com. You guys can go and check out what they both had to say about this game as our resident Packers and Bears fans. What are we thinking?
Man, this is going to be a good game. And just for this sole reason, this is the most meaningful Packers-Bears game that we have seen in maybe 6 or 7 years. Just because now both teams are not only competing, but they're competing for top spot in the NFC North. They're also competing for a top maybe 2 or 3 seed in the NFC. The Bears are 9-3. They have won games, and that's what counts at the end of the day, right? You can only beat teams that have been in front of you, but there's a couple of things that have stood out to me, and one is Caleb Williams, his completion percentage being 59%. He's a guy that's now had back-to-back games under 60% for a completion rate. He has not done a good job of getting his receivers the ball, and this is a team in Green Bay that has not given up a ton of yards on the ground. That's exactly where the Bears have been dominating. We saw it last week against Philly. Both Monangai and DeAndre Swift absolutely went bonkers against that Philly front seven, and I don't know if that's going to happen again. On the other side, I think that this is a Packers team that has been running the ball very well now for the last couple of weeks and will continue to do so this week. It's also why Danny likes Josh Jacobs' rushing yards line this week. That was his play of the game. I know. I was surprised too, but he likes that one. I'm just looking for a very boring defensive game. Give me the under 44.5. I think this is a divisional under, and I'm not looking at trends, but I'm looking at 2 defenses that have been pretty decent. A Bears team that has forced a ton of turnovers this year and resulted in directly taking points off the board for a lot of offenses. I think this is a game in which both teams are going to have to grind it out a little bit. I think both teams are going to lean on the run very heavily. Both are top 10 in run play percentage this year. And like I said, if the Bears are going to be in this game, they're moving the ball on the ground. And I think that the clock is going to continue to run. And at 44.5 in cold weather, this just feels like one of those games where it's just a tough game where points aren't coming very easily. So I took the other 44.5. And then the last play I have in this one is just Christian Watson to get a touchdown. This one is purely narrative-based. But last year, week 18, this is when he tore his ACL. It was unfortunate. It was a freak accident. They were about to go into the postseason. He really didn't even need to be playing. It was here at Lambeau against the Chicago Bears team. He's had some big games against them. Didn't score against them last year, but it just felt like a little bit of poetic justice for him to get in here at plus 180. So I took Christian Watson at plus 180. I
like that. I also like what you had to say about the game as a whole. Go check out V's article, V and Danny's article. Danny also was kind of talking about Jacobs all week. So and he's a tempered Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I looked at also Shaggy's article play, staff article play is the under. So that was Shag's play that he liked a lot as well. I like DeAndre Swift or Monangai. I like their carries. The rushing attempts for both of them is at 11.5 for plus money. I was surprised that Swift's was 11.5 for plus money. He's had 18, 8, 21, and 13 carries in 3 of his last 4 games, and also 20 and 14 in the games last season against the Packers. So I like that for plus money, but I'm probably just going to watch this game. I don't really have anything I like a lot. I like the under. Maybe we put that in our sides and totals lay. I felt like that's a good spot to. You like it. Shags likes it. Makes a lot of sense. So, all right. We have our special guest joining us. We love when Chef comes and hangs out with us right at the end, and then we'll get to cooking, boys. We made it to the end of the slate. We can maybe touch on a little bit of Thursday or Sunday night football before we do that. But let's get Chef up here to chat about it. Chef Ree.
What's up, goats?
Hey, brother.
Hey,
how you
Chef.
doing?
How you doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy
How are
Sunday.
you?
Good. How are you?
Jeff, you ready to fight today?
It's not going to be a fight. It's going to be like a soft cradle to the bottom of the division for you guys. Just like
Oh.
Okay.
I don't even need to wear my Bears stuff. That's how confident I am that I don't need all the juju for the Bears.
Nobody wants to see your Justin Fields t-shirt anymore. Okay, he plays in New York now,
That
Chef.
thing's in the trash. He's dead to me. He's gone.
Oh.
Chat loves you right now because we got a lot of Bears fans in the chat. So that's good.
Here
for
we
you.
go. I'm in the garage, by the way.
Oh, you look nice. Looks nice in there.
You do what you
I have
can.
a question.
You do what you
Yeah.
can.
What are some of your? But we've kind of gone through everything already, and we're about to start cooking. So good time for you as the master of the cooking it up. What's some of your favorites today on the entire NFL board, and then we'll get to cooking ourselves.
I saw somebody from our staff shows on Bucky, I think, right?
Yep.
I know there's a lot of love for Bucky. I think he has a really good game. So I really like that. Whose play was Bucky?
Betsky.
Bucky
Mhm.
Bucky for Betsky.
Bucky for Betsky.
Yeah. I really like that. I think Breece Hall has a really good game. I
Mhm.
think
Ooh.
I think they really lean on him a little bit, and I like his R&R against a really poor Miami team. A sneaky one. I like Devin Neal R&R. It's not sneaky, but it's just like he's it's his second, third game or something like that that he's starting. And I think his line is a little bit too low. He's looked really good the past couple games, and hopefully we see a bit of a back and forth shootout with this Bucks game. And like I said, I like his line. It's a little bit low. So yeah, those are my. Let's go with those.
I like it. Devin Neal receiving yards was one that I talked about earlier. I talked myself
I like that a
into
lot.
16.5. Felt nice. Cool, man. Well, we're here for cooking time, so perfect to have you here for this, which is the best part. Chat, we've gone through every game. Drop what you guys like in the chat as we get to now. We're going to cook. Yes. What's up, Chef?
I know it's chalky. I know I sent you guys a chalk slip last night, and I don't know. I know Triz, you've probably got a contrarian hat on for right now. I honestly think we do see some chalk stuff today. I think we see Henry for 2. I think we see I never pronounce it A-Chain. I don't know why it's been how many years? A-Chain. I can't still A-Chain for 2, Taylor for 2, and Henry for 2. It's probably plus 220 each or something like that, or 200 each. But you put those together, you probably got a plus 4,000 or 5,000. I just think Henry has a really good game too. So anyway, that's I just wanted to say that because I haven't put it in, I haven't put it out there, but I really think that we see some weird chalk like that just today.
These are the Nuggies chat that go and bet that because that's probably going to get close / hit. Okay, so we're going to do a sides and total lay.
I'll put it out on Twitter.
There you go. Sides and total lay. We'll do a favorite props lay, and then we'll do touchdown lay. Start sides and totals. I feel like we all like the Ravens. You guys down to do the Ravens 5.5 in this game, in this one?
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody have any opposition to the Ravens?
Nope.
Okay. Ravens 5.5. Love the Packers and the Bears under. I know you talked about that. Shags likes it. I think we can all get down with that under as well. 40. I'm going to buy it up to 40. It's 43.5. So I'm going to take the 44.5. You guys good with that?
Mm-hmm.
I am.
I have no opposition.
Okay. Strizzy, what's your favorite side or total today?
Viking or Colt. I think you should put both in there. I think they both cash.
I'll get down with that. You guys down to take the Vikings and the Colts? Round this out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hang on.
I'm listening.
Yeah, you're good.
But that two touchdown line, that's plus 9,000.
Wow. Just for those three guys to score two?
Henry, A-Chain, and John Taylor.
I've never heard anybody named Jonathan Taylor call him John.
Yeah, John Taylor.
I call him Big John.
Oh, Little Big John. John Taylor sounds like a guy who like discovered America in 1492.
I know.
All right, so Colts money line, Vikings plus 1.5, the under 44.5, Bears Vikings, Ravens 5.5, minus 5.5. That's plus 1,000. Feel good?
Feels good.
Feels great.
Let's roll. Okay.
You want to
We'll
read
go with
that
that.
one more time for me?
Yes, sir. Colts money line, Vikings
hey,
plus
sir.
1.5.
Hey, chef.
You guys are literally next to each other. Colts money line, Vikings plus 1.5, Ravens minus 5.5, and then the under 44.5. Bang.
Ooh.
Plus 1,000. Okay.
Chef, how do you feel about James Cook 2+?
I was going to add that. I'm like, I don't want to get too crazy, but fuck it. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's, you know.
It's already 3 guys with 2 touchdowns. Might make it 4.
Yeah, I might play around with those a little bit, do a few different combinations.
I like that.
Well, since we're talking tutties, let's do that. And then we'll round it out with kind of our favorite props. Is James Cook to score a touchdown even like bettable? Minus 200. Yeah, GG's. Okay. Touchdowns?
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Jettas.
Jettas. Getting good value on that too. Where's that game?
This guy's fighting for his football life. Like, he's got to, like, throw a tutty to the main guy today.
Yeah. All right. Plus 155 to start us off. So Jay Jettas. Okay.
How do we feel about Tyler Warren?
In that Colts game? I mean, we like the Colts, so I can get down with that. Is that your favorite, V?
Either that one or I was going to go with
I liked your Kyron play.
I like Kyron too.
I know it's only plus 100, but I like that.
I'm actually down to go with Kyron. If we can, let's see what we end up with this third leg. We can, if we want something juiced, we can go with Warren, or if we have something else.
Does anyone have anything else? I'm not opposed to Warren. Anyone else have anything else they felt strongly about?
I do like Chris Rodriguez. It's plus money. It's like plus 160.
It's in the same game as the Jefferson one, but not to say we can't do that. But
didn't somebody like a Mecca?
Yeah.
Oh, Trizzy liked Ibuka or JSN from you know who. That's nice. You liked Ibuka too, V?
Yeah, I like Ibuka. I do like JSN as well.
I like JSN.
What's the value of JSN?
It's like minus 105, I think.
Let's do that.
Do we want to just go JSN, Emeka, and Kyron then? Make this 4 legs?
And go with and then Jay Jettas?
Yeah, and Jay Jettas. Because Kyron and JSN both like plus 100 area right there.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's greedy with 4 legs, but 3 legs hasn't hit either. So,
so 3 legs hasn't hit. Let's add another one. Why not?
All the best animals have 4 legs.
Yeah, there
Justin
you go.
Jefferson,
Thank you, sir.
Kyron Williams, Jackson Smith to Jigba, and what was Ibuka? Emeka. Kuna Matata. Plus 2,000. Feels good.
That does feel good.
Justin liked your Warren play, so don't forget that one. That's a nice straight one too. Get Tyler Warren in there.
I got coin on him too. We got it, Justin. Let's cash that one out,
20-1.
please.
Feels nice. Okay. We're cooking, boys. All right. Favorite props. I'm going to start us off. Give me the king. I'm putting Henry in here. I don't think anybody has any opposition to throwing King Henry in here.
None.
Just the rush yards?
Yeah, 80 plus. Okay. Chef, what's your favorite? You want to do Neil? You seemed like you like Neil quite a bit. Or did you want to take something else?
Yeah.
You want to do R&R or just receiving?
Yeah, R&R for sure.
Okay.
63.5.
61.5. Okay. Sauceman, what's your fave?
What do we think about? I don't want to take Bowers just because of
That game, yeah.
yeah. What about Jacoby Myers over 54.5? I believe is the line for receiving yards. Do we think the Colts are going to be up?
I love Myers today. Love him.
Well, then let's roll. 51.5.
Mm-hmm.
Should we take the 50? Cut the hook.
50, yeah, cut the hook.
Okay. Myers 50. Okay. All right, that's 3. You guys didn't roll the A-chain today?
Yeah.
I like him too.
Or do we want to take something in that Bills Bengals game? Like
I
Cook?
think
I was even say Chase Brown.
I was
Or
gonna say
Chase Brown.
Yeah,
Chase Brown rushing receiving.
I like his R&R quite a bit, yeah.
I do too.
Chat, what you guys
Medium.
decide. Do you want to do Chase Brown rushing and receiving or A-chain rushing? You guys decide. You tell us. I think we go Brown.
I think we go
Yeah,
Brown.
dude.
What
You
can
always
Brown
go
do for-
Brown, baby.
What can Brown do for you?
Oh my God, Trizzy's just shaking his head.
Both from regular Hooper. Let's go. All right, that's plus 1,000 as well. Chase Brown, 73.5 rushing, receiving. Jacoby Myers, 50+ receiving. Devin Neal, 61.5 rushing and receiving. Derrick Henry, 80 rushing, plus 1,000. That feels nice.
It does feel nice.
That feels nice.
Brown.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Bang,
We'll
bang.
repeat the two lays,
We'll go
Dewey,
through.
and then the touchdown parlay will hit the timeline. But everything else, it's just here for you guys.
We'll read it all off and just go watch the replay. You've got an hour until kickoff, so you can watch through quite a few things and fast forward through stuff you don't want to listen to.
And scribbles everywhere. Kate's prop shop, my touchdown piece. We got my articles. We got the staff piece, and then Danny. Danny's very sharp, so make sure you guys check out his pieces.
Yeah,
all over
Betting News.
bettingnews.com.
Bettingnews.com for free. Get involved with all the analysis over there. V and Danny been cooking in the NFL. We got our staff play out there, all of our favorite plays. Haven't had a losing week all season. Not going to start this week. All right, I'll read off the parlays, and then we'll do the giveaway, and then we'll get out of here. Have a little time,
You know,
boys.
I never did my giveaway when I said
yeah.
Niemes Keita was going to get or something else.
Something else, yeah.
So if you
It
want to
didn't-
throw that
it
in there
didn't happen.
too, you want to
We'll do two giveaways. Chef's
Yeah,
in a given mood today. Look at Santa Chef.
I
Put your hat on.
stay true to my word, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So, chat, last chance. Join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/bettingnews. That is how you'll be entered to win one of our new Vibes hats, and Chef's giving away something. Whatever he wants. All of Chef's love. 2 giveaways. Come and hang out. Twitch.tv/bettingnews. That's how you enter to win. Here's the parlays. Props. Derrick Henry, 80+ rushing yards. Devin Neal, 61.5 rushing and receiving. Jacoby Myers, 50+ receiving. Chase Brown, 73.5 rushing and receiving. That's plus 1,000. Tutties. This will go on the timeline. Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Emeka Egbuka, Kyron Williams. Sides and totals, also plus 1,000. Baltimore Ravens, minus 5.5. The Vikings, plus 1.5. Please be good, 9. Just be okay, bro. Colts, money line, and then the under in the battle in Green Bay between the Bears and the Packers. Plus 1,000. Those are your sides and totals, touchdowns, and props. Cook your own lays, have some fun, sprinkle responsibly, as always. Or, as our friend Slop would say, and as our friend on YouTube says, responsibly put your house on it. However you guys want to do it. You guys decide. All right. Let's have some fun, boys. Let's do a giveaway. First one. This is Chef's. In honor of him being a man of his word. Look at all those ducks. Absolutely love to see it. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Get after it, suck.
I said, stay the night, here with me, lay me down on the floor. You were silent, lock the door. I can't believe.
Oh, we got movement. Look at all those ducks, man. Go.
Oh, many
Right.
quickies.
Here's
Last
the
10
move.
seconds. Here's the moves.
Whoa.
Dragon.
H went. Levin, please drop a dub in the chat so we know you're a real.
Go.
Hey, H went. Let's go. H went.
Police
Please
officer.
send us a DM on Twitter at Your Betting News, or you can send Chef a DM since it was his giveaway you just won, and he'll get you sorted out. No.
I mean,
Send it to me. Send it to me either at Sweatpant Jesus or at Your Betting News, and I'll get you sorted out with Chef's giveaway. So congratulations. Give us a follow as well on those platforms if you haven't already. And this is our giveaway. You guys ready?
Run it.
Run it. Bang, bang, bang. Is that a cop?
it's the cop.
So Jay Dot.
last.
Sorry, Red Sox. You cooked.
I am King Duck.
B Dot also cooked. Never had good cooked.
Yeah.
Who's in the middle right there moving?
Moving and grooving. Red
Oh,
Sox.
Red
Red
Sox.
Sox.
Oh,
Red Sox.
That's after you call him out.
Let's go.
75-60. We know
Hell
you're real
yeah.
because you dropped the dub right here. Congratulations, Red Sox. Give us a follow on Twitter, like I said, at Your Betting News. Shoot us a DM. We will get you sorted out with a swag pack, and then we will also be giving away our new Vibes Hack. Congratulations. Give us a DM, and we will get you sorted out over there as well. In honor of us hitting our parlay yesterday. And you know what, boys? You know what? Let's just hit another fucking lay today. So then we can do a giveaway
Hell
tomorrow.
yeah.
Nice and easy. Why not? Love to see it. Appreciate you guys tuning in today on the Betting News Network. Gridiron Gang, get you ready to rock and roll into NFL Week 14. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure, Chef. It's been so awesome that you've hung out with us for more than 2 minutes. This
I
has
know.
been like Christmas morning. Christmas morning.
You're gonna put Chef in the garage more often.
Yeah, sure. Don't put baby in the corner, but put Chef in the garage. We're rocking and rolling. Go follow all these guys on the screen if you're not already. Follow us on Twitter, like I said, at Your Betting News. Get involved with all of our content for free at bettingnews.com. Go check out our staff article, like I mentioned, as well. We haven't had a losing week. Let's not start this week. You can also tail the parlay that I put out there of all 11 plays put out together. If you want to get a little frisky with it, put 3 parlays together for you guys. We'll post the touchdown one on the timeline. And we go live every single day right here on Twitch and YouTube. If you like the content, come and hang out with us again tomorrow. We'll be recapping everything tomorrow with 4 shows right here on the Betting News Network. So come and kick it with us and enjoy everything that goes on today on the Gridiron. If you have a team that you follow, hope they win. If you're going against the Titans, Browns, respectfully, you guys can fuck off. Go Titans. Anything else you guys want to say before we hop up on out of here?
Go Pack, go, baby. Go Pack, go.
I'm even gonna waste my breath on that.
Love you, Chef. Absolutely.
It's our year. I'm just saying, there's nothing that can stop us. Nothing.
Oh yeah, Bears fans saying it's our year. Where have I heard that before? Everywhere.
You've never heard me say that.
Everywhere.
You have never ever heard me say that. You
I will
know
give Chef
I
his
am
credit that
the
he
most
has never said
critical
that.
of my teams. You've never heard me say that.
Mhm.
B's team is
Facts.
like 0-16. He's like, it's our year. It's our year. 0-16. Come on. I'm like,
First of all, the Packers have never been 0-16. That's some Bears shit. Okay.
Trizzy just sitting here comfortable with the Pats on their bye. He's like, Drake
Big chillin'.
May. We'll see you next week, motherfucker.
Yeah. You know,
Drake May. Drake
hey,
May.
what's the spread? What's the spread?
6.5.
Towards Packers?
Yeah, in Green Bay.
You want to place a friendly wager on that? 6.5?
Ooh.
Of course, Jeff. Of course.
All right. Let's do
Of
it.
course.
6.5.
All
There
right,
you
who's
go.
us?
What's the punishment?
You guys decide.
Okay, we'll think about it.
We got
think
time. We got a few hours before this game.
We got time.
Got time. NBA plays will be on the timeline. You know the deal. We'll get them out there and for you guys later today. But get out there, enjoy NFL Week 14. This has been the Gridiron Gang. You guys came for the winners. You stayed for the vibes. Have a great day. Enjoy some beverages. Enjoy the football. And we will catch you on the next one. Take it easy, chat. Have a good one. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.